Hello, my name is Liliana Pickens and I am the team leader here at KWLN Nona, and we are coming to you straight from the creative studio at Nona. And today with me is our rock star Ythamarie.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're super excited. So Ythamarie is part of our top 20% of the office, and I just want to get to know a little bit more about you so that we can inspire some of our agents out there. That's cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. So let's start with my questions. What did your business look like when you started real estate?
I didn't have a business.
I love that.
I didn't have no business. I was just had my contacts, the people I knew.
Okay.
I guess what I thought was a business wasn't. I guess I had a business, but I didn't know how to turn it into a business. I didn't know what I had going for myself. But to be really honest, I feel like I had nothing.
I love that. So you had a real estate license, but it was like, what do I do with this?
Exactly.
Right? Like I know I just opened the doors to my own business, but I don't know what to do with this. Excellent. So in order to become a business owner, we know that, you know, as they teach us here in KW, we're a people development company, right? And in order to become a business owner, you have to unlearn some things, especially when it comes to how you see yourself. What did you have to unlearn in this process of becoming a business owner?
One thing I had to unlearn was that I didn't need to know everything up front. Although I did need to know how to read a contract, how to write a contract, because that was very important for me. But as far as like learning how to have conversations, how to do open houses, how to market myself, I didn't need to learn everything before doing it. That's one thing I had to unlearn.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because Gary talks about that on the book, on the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. He says, on the shift actually, he says there's 3 types of agents. Those that will learn all the things before executing, those that will just execute and then learn the thing, and those that learn and execute at the same time. And time again, we see that the successful ones are the ones that are learning and executing at the same time.
Yep.
Like we're gonna go do it afraid. It's just what it is, right?
Yeah, literally.
What moment in your career, how long have you been in real estate so far?
3 years.
3 years. So in 3 years, what moment has forced you to think bigger?
I would say 2 years ago, well no, maybe a year ago, when I felt like I had reached my maximum potential and I didn't feel like I was learning as much as I wanted to or really growing as a person, as an agent. It wasn't until I actually contacted another KW agent, Jorge Trejo, and that's when I contacted him and he connected me with you. And once I made the connection with you, that's when I realized, okay, like I can't just change my mindset. I need to change my environment in order for me to excel.
So before, without naming names, were you in a smaller brokerage? Were you just in another big brand box? Where were you at before?
It was a boutique brokerage.
It was a boutique brokerage. Excellent. And you felt like there's no other way that I can go from here. Like you hit a ceiling.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. I felt like I hit a ceiling, not a production ceiling, just like an environment or, you know, where I want my business to go kind of ceiling.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I had that switch where I was like, I can't just change my mindset. I have to change my environment so I could change as a person, basically.
You know, and the environment is so important because the environment helps us change the mindset, right? When we surround ourselves by people that are doing better than us or that are running stronger businesses, we become better just by association, right?
Yes.
When we're here and we're collaborating and we're, you know, seeing what each other is doing, it's a whole different ballpark.
Yes, it is.
So you come to KW. Where were you in your production before you came to KW?
Before I came to KW, I was probably only closing maybe 1 to 2 deals a year.
Cool. And then you come to KW, and you know it's a lot when people come to Keller Williams, right? Because we're overbearing. We are. And there's a lot of information coming at you because this is like drinking water from a fire hose. What was one thing that you immediately said, this is where I need to attach myself to so that I can grow?
So definitely coming into KW, I'm so happy that I was able to have a mastermind here. So at least knowing that I had a group of individuals that I can come to when I had any questions or concern about real estate, that really made me feel like this is where I should be because I can learn from these individuals as I'm growing myself. And they saw the hunger in me, so it kind of motivated me too. But knowing that I had that group that I can come to, honestly, it made me feel like this is this is where I need to be and this is where I'm going to excel.
So. I love that. I love that. And when you came and you were forced to change behaviors and habits and all of that, what was one thing that you stopped doing? That you said, I need to stop doing this so that I can actually get to the other side of my career?
Yes. So I stopped listening and comparing myself to other people.
Oof, you do that?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so happy it's not just me.
Yes. I stopped doing that because for the past couple of years, like I wasn't going anywhere. And that's because of whatever you see on social media, whatever you expose yourself to, right, is what you kind of get. So something in me happened where I was just like, Ita, stop listening to the news. Worry about what's going on in your market, what you can control, the people around you, and just have a goal in mind, attack it, and don't focus around what's going on in the noise, and just get.
So we're gonna park here for a little bit because this is a big deal. Okay. What I'm hearing is that you stop being in the way of your own success. Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Most people cannot do that. How did you train yourself to do that? How do you train your brain to be like, we're not going to listen to the voices in my head that are telling me, the naysayers, right? The voices in my head and around me. I'm just going to go this other direction. Like, was there a period of time that you had to train yourself doing that? Or you just like, I just decided and I went for it?
So there was a period of time, but honestly, what really helped me is, obviously I'm on social media a lot, right? And I follow what I follow. And when I was looking at what I was following, what was showing up on my feed, I was like, I'm kind of tired of these real estate agents posting, oh, I sold this, I sold that, I sold this, I sold that. I had to start unfollowing people. And then,
because no one cares.
Yeah, and I'm unfollowing people and following things that I actually do, like maybe more spiritual things, maybe more traveling, maybe more things on like entrepreneurship or business, things like that, things that I would enjoy looking at, and canceling out like that noise and narrowing down on that focus. That's something that really helped me, get clear.
So your mental diet, right? What you're consuming as a consumer, right, on the dead scrollings of the world, had to change.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and it is incredible because our brain has this thing called the RAS, right, where it helps us focus. And what we focus on will expand. So if you're hearing or scrolling or reading, Chicken Little Skies Falling in the market, blah, 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 that's all that you're going to see in reality. So the moment you change that, it completely helped your mindset. I was just having this conversation with one of our other agents earlier this week. And she was saying the same thing. The moment I changed what I was consuming as a consumer, right, in my social media feeds and all of that, my mindset has shifted. It's almost like peace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And literally. It's funny, like I find it super interesting that you say this because from what I hear you saying, you shifted into that mental diet to be around personal growth and personal development.
Yes.
Right? Like I don't care how many houses you sell.
No.
I want to know how you think, what are your habits, how do I need to be thinking, right? What do I need to be doing so that I can also become successful?
Yep, and literally, because my word for when I reflect on 2025, my word was growth. Because the past couple of years, I wasn't growing. I felt like I was stagnant, right? And then looking at the year I had, with being in 1 year in Keller Williams, my word was growth. So.
I love that. Where do you think, besides production, because I don't want to focus on that, where do you think your biggest growth was in 2025?
I think confidence.
Tell me about that a little bit.
Confidence in how I speak to other people, how I show up on social media, when I attend certain networking events. I don't like attending networking events, but you know what? I have to do it because it's just part of the, what you want to do. But being comfortable and, taking myself to, putting myself in uncomfortable situations, that's what I focused on.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about primary lead sources. This is a question that every single agent has out there, right? Especially those that are trying, but the things are not working, etc. Where is your business coming from?
My business is coming from, I'm going to say social media, heavy on TikTok, my sphere of influence, and open houses.
Beautiful. So is your sphere of influence also inside your social media channels?
Yes, it is.
Right? I think a lot of agents miss that point. They miss the point that social media is a database.
Yes, it is.
It is a database. Out of your deals last year, percentage-wise, how many of those came from your socials?
3. I had 3 deals from social media. Yep.
Okay,
and
so that's a good chunk.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean like, oh, complete strangers from social media. No, it's my sphere, right? It could be sphere that I haven't spoken to in a long time. Somebody came across my video, they sent my video to that person, and now we're in communication because they bought a house.
Easy peasy. What are you tracking?
I'm tracking, that's a good question.
Yeah. I asked the question because I feel like our industry has this whole thing like you have to track this and this and that and the other. And the truth is that you're going to track what matters most to you.
Yes.
So what is that for you? What do you track?
I don't track how many calls go out. I just track.
Doesn't matter.
I track conversations that I have.
That matters to you.
Yeah, whether it's in a day or a week. And it's not just conversations I have over the phone. It could be conversations I have through text. Through social media platforms. Somebody asked a question about a house that I posted. To me, that's considered a conversation. I'll take it to the next level if they're, wanting more information and, they want to get the process started. But conversations that I have that revolve around real estate, and it doesn't matter where. It could be at a Publix, somebody sees me wearing my shirt or my hat. That's what I track. Just conversations that I actually have with somebody about real estate.
Beautiful. I love that. And remember that we track the things that matter to us. Like every time I hired a personal trainer last year, and he was like, you got to track your food. And I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. I don't care about that enough.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'll track my business numbers all day long every day, but don't ask me to track my food. I will not do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much work.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And so you come into KW, your business starts getting, busy, and with success comes chaos and a lot of mess, right? It's messy. How do you protect your time? Like as you have ramped up and gotten busy, how do you protect that time?
Yeah, so I make sure I use my calendar, time blocking. So
that's my girl.
Yeah, I make sure I have some time set aside, whether it's me time or for appointments or for lead generating. One thing I learned from my MAPS coach that I had is try not to book anything on Friday, because at least have one day for yourself. So whenever I try to book certain things, I leave my Friday empty, so I know I have the availability to do whatever it is that I want to do, but obviously focus on Monday through Tuesday. So
yeah, through Thursday. Thursday. I love that. Very cool. How does this work with your personal life? Like, are you still having fun? Do you still hang out with your family? Do you still hang out with your friends? Or do you feel like the people that matter most to you have taken like a back seat while you're building a big business? I
still have fun. Maybe not as much fun as I would want to, because I sleep, eat, breathe real estate. But I'm so thankful, to be in this business, because it's allowed me to do a lot of things for my family. And I think giving back to my family, that's how I have fun. I'm not really a materialistic person. I think one of the next things I want to do is like take my family out on a vacation.
I love that.
And that's me having fun, giving
Where are
back.
you taking them?
I don't know yet.
You gotta spin that globe on wherever the finger lands.
I know.
Yeah, wherever the finger lands. Let them pick, right? I mean, how awesome would that be, right?
Yeah.
To give that gift to them. That's great. How do you define success now versus when you first started in real estate?
So to me, how I defined success back then was I need to make 100K. I need to make 100K. I need to close all these deals.
You all want to make 100K.
I still do. But to me, like that was how I defined success, by closing, closing a lot of deals. But how I define success now is getting clarity on what it is that I want, right? Do I need to close 100 deals to get 100K, or just to make 100K? I don't know, right?
Yeah.
What's important to me is how I can use that time, how I can use the money that I get from real estate to invest in myself and in the business, to give back. So to me, success is just clarity on what it is that I want to do as an individual and in my business.
I mean, that could not have been more like KW textbook. Because Gary always talks about that, right? Success is about what matters most to you. That's how we measure it. We measure it against what matters most to us. So I love that. Are you ready for some rapid fire questions so that people get to know you in a fun way?
Yes, come on.
Morning person or night owl?
I'm a night owl.
Oh my goodness, I cannot deal with the night
And my
owls.
creativity is at night.
Really? So you're like, you go to bed at 12 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Yes, my
That's
laptop,
great.
creating, marketing, yep, my brain.
I love it. What's one thing that you have to do for yourself every week to stay sane?
Pray.
So tell me about that. Do you do this daily? Do you do this once a week? In the morning, at night? You know, when are we praying?
We're praying at night.
Okay.
Before bed. Not like really before bed, but I'm making it a habit to open up my Bible and at least read one chapter. And before I read the chapter, I pray.
Where are we now?
We're in John chapter 3.
Oh, okay. John is one of my favorite books.
I read the book of Luke for the entire month last month. So
Nice.
now,
Good. So you're in the New Testament. Very cool. Very cool. Music, silence, or podcast when you're driving between appointments?
podcast.
What podcast are we listening to?
Not to be corny, but I really do listen to the MREA podcast.
That's the best freaking podcast around real estate right now. 100%. I love the MREA podcast. Anything else that you're listening to?
Z88.3.
Nice.
Yep.
I had a friend who used to DJ for them. Like she used to be like one of their people. Yeah. All right. What's something people are surprised to learn about you?
You know, I was thinking that, let me see. Okay, one thing somebody is surprised to learn about me is that I bought my first house when I was 22.
Here in Florida?
Yep,
Do you still own this house?
I sure do.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Beach, mountains, or stay at home and recover?
I'm gonna say beach, but only if the beach is like Aruba, Culebra.
Yeah, not Florida beaches,
not
like
Florida.
in the Caribbean.
Yeah. If anything, just leave me at home.
Yeah,
But
get me
beach-
to the Caribbean.
Exactly.
As it should
like
be.
Yep.
As it should be. Ita, if you had a word of advice for agents that are trying to make it in this industry today, what would you tell them?
Don't listen to the noise. If you're fixated on a goal, just focus on that goal. Just dive head first into the goal. Don't focus on what's going on around you, because ultimately you can't compare yourself to nobody else, and you're only focusing on what you got going on. So that's the piece of advice I would give.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being our first participant in the creative studio at Nona.
Thank you.
We're super excited for you to have been the first one. So thank you so much for your time, because I know that you're busy.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.